Next on Worcester News Tonight, a vigil is held in the city for a 2-year-old girl who passed away. And Protecting Athletes has taken on a fierce new look. A product gaining fame is the co-creation of a former Central Mass star. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight with a vigil held for the 2-year-old Worcester girl who suddenly died. The vigil took place in front of the Wellington Street building where Gigi Brown lived. Police are still investigating her death. She was found unresponsive earlier this week. Police say there were no signs of trauma. Gigi's siblings are now in the care of DCF. Tonight, friends and family paid their respects.
Your family could be spread out from here to Timbuktu, but when your family needs to be together, they come in together.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a time where family really needs to come together as one and support each other, no matter the problems that there may be. It's just a time of mourning, and we all just need to hold hands and be strong through all of this.
Worcester police are seeking the public's help to identify a suspect in a June stabbing incident, and tonight we're hearing from one of the victim's family members. Police have released surveillance pictures from the parking lot at KasBar. This was taken 20 minutes before the stabbing. The male suspect is seen with a possible female companion and was driving a white Ford F-150. The stabbing victim that night suffered serious injuries but survived. Tonight, we spoke with the victim's aunt, who was pleading for anyone with information to step forward.
If it was your family member, I want you to think about what you would do, especially if you know who did this. Because if you help us, then, you know, it'll be one of the best things that you did, because he did not deserve this.
Worcester police also need your help identifying a bank robbery suspect. The Millbury Federal Credit Union on West Boylston Street was robbed last week. The white male demanded cash and told the teller he had a gun. However, it's unclear if he was armed. A reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of this suspect, who made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. If you recognize the suspects in either of these cases, call the Worcester Police Department. An update now on Hurricane Joaquin. East Coast states have already been drenched by rain, but it appears the Category 4 hurricane will not make landfall in the United States. Joaquin continues to batter the Bahamas, where winds and rains have destroyed homes and brought major flooding. The hurricane is expected to travel north and pass far off the shore of New England sometime between Monday and Tuesday. Now, while Hurricane Joaquin may miss Worcester, the city is still taking precautions to prevent any potential flooding. The Department of Public Works and Parks is drawing down Indian Lake and Coes Pond. Although the city will most likely not see the full effects of Joaquin, the moves create additional stormwater storage, which helps to prevent flooding effects. It may be the largest donation ever given to the city. Today, representatives of the Miles and Jean McDonough Foundation announced a $15.25 million gift to be split between 7 Worcester cultural institutions, including the Ecotarium and the Hanover Theater. The mayor and the city manager were on hand for the ceremony, which took place at City Hall.
People like the McDonoughs and more companies like FlexCon to kind of see the relationship between them and their community. We've been trying to do research. It's clearly the largest gift this century, and we think it might be the biggest gift of all time, so it's incredible.
Jean McDonough was presented with the key to the city at today's event. The McDonough family owns Spencer-based company FlexCon. Quite an impressive gift. Well, a young moose created some excitement this morning in several city neighborhoods. It's not something we see every day, and one city man captured the close encounter on video. Our Patricia Nicholas has the story.
Video here is a 2-year-old male bull moose.
There was a wild moose chase on Worcester streets this morning. Worcester Police, Animal Control, and other agencies responded to sightings of a moose who Mass Wildlife's Bill Davis says probably just lost his way.
Worcester is right on the frontier of the established moose range within the state, so it's not unusual to have a wandering individual come into the city.
This video was taken by Worcester resident Aaron Stevenson, who spotted the animal. Davis says there is a well-established moose population in the state, with somewhere between 500 to 1,000 animals, which are expanding to the east and to the south.
People in northern Worcester County are used to moose now. They see one, cross the road, or they see one in their backyard. It's not big news, but having one in a densely populated area does call for a response by public safety folks.
Worcester residents like Cadell Orain says news of a moose on the loose in his city is something he has never heard of before.
If I see this moose, I'm going to have to leave or run as fast as I can away from it.
Which is the right idea. Davis says if people do see this moose, they should not approach it.
Just like any wild animal, you should always respect it, observe it from a safe distance. Don't try to approach it. Contact public safety.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
The military community in Massachusetts is mourning the loss of two of its own. This after two airmen based at Hanscom Air Force Base were killed in a plane crash in Afghanistan. Alicia Rodriguez has more.
Just about 2 months away from coming home from their deployment in Afghanistan, two airmen based at Hanscom Air Force Base died in an aircraft crash early Friday morning.
Our hearts are heavy with sorrow as we grieve with and for the families of these brave airmen.
There were a total of 6 airmen on the C-130 aircraft similar to this one, and 5 civilians, all working to train Afghani security forces. All of them died when it crashed shortly after takeoff from the Jalalabad airport on the Afghani-Pakistani border.
As you can imagine, this is a devastating day for the United States Air Force and for Hanscom Air Force Base.
The local airmen were members of the 66th Security Forces Squadron. It's a small group of men and women who focus on a big task, keeping military bases secure.
The members of that great team, even in the time of terrible sorrow, remain steadfast in their commitment to fulfilling Air Force missions abroad and here at home.
An Air Force spokesperson told NBC that the Taliban claims they shot the plane out of the sky, but he says that it is highly unlikely and they do not think that this was enemy fire.
They were incredible airmen who served their country voluntarily and lost their lives protecting this great nation.
Now, the Air Force will wait until the families of all 6 airmen have been notified before they release their identities. Reporting at Hanscom Air Force Base, Alicia Rodriguez, Worcester News Tonight.
U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch was in the Bay State today. Lynch gave the keynote address at a summit on opioid addiction, which was held at the headquarters of the Massachusetts Medical Society in Waltham. The Attorney General says the Obama administration is making progress in the White House prescription drug abuse prevention plan.
We are using every civil, criminal, and administrative tool that we have to discover, to disrupt, and to dismantle illegal traffic in pharmaceutical controlled substances, and we are making real progress.
Next, we have Dr. Jeff Bass.
The summit is sponsored by the Medical Society and the U.S. Attorney's Office. U.S. Attorney Carmen Ortiz and Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey were also expected to attend. Football players around Central Mass will be using a key piece of safety equipment when they suit up tonight and this weekend. Mouth guards are important in keeping players safe, and now a former football star from Worcester has created a mouth guard product already gaining national attention. Our Andy Madison explains.
It's a mouth guard that tries to stand out.
We're the only mouth guard company in the United States that is printing graphics on the outside of the mouth guards.
Shark teeth, camouflage, and the words "play hard" are some of the designs you'll find on loud mouth guards.
Dog.
Co-owner Kevin Janotic, a Worcester native, started the company with Deshaun Cunningham.
Once he pitched the idea, I said, I'm in. I'm like, we can take this to the next level.
He says they've been in operation now for about a year. It's a bi-coastal operation with Janotic in Massachusetts and Cunningham out in California. They're mouth guards for every sport, and they're becoming popular among football players.
We're not going after the alpha male athlete. We're going after all the kids, 5 to 13.
Even though they aren't targeting professional athletes, the NFL has taken notice. The mouth guards were seen on national TV thanks to Broncos running back Ronnie Hillman.
Play happens, and then right after that, a massive close-up of this mouth guard appears on the TV screen. And I was like, oh my God.
Janotic is a former Worcester State standout wide receiver. He holds a school record for most receiving yards in a game. Now he has dreams of building a mouth guard the team will use in the future.
I would definitely be putting together a nice custom Worcester State University Lancer logo. Without question, that'd be one of my dreams.
a dream that may be just getting started. Andy Madison, Worcester.